everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and today I'm coming to you with a product review. And this product is coming to me from one of my local subscribers, Craig. He is letting me borrow and try out the CMMG 22 long rifle conversion kit for an AR-15. So I thought, since I'm shooting a really manly caliber today, I would bring out a really manly AR. So I got my wife's Hello Kitty AR-15 out here, and we're going to try this out. He has provided me, of course, with the conversion kit, which I will install here, and a number of magazines. So I believe I have the CMMG magazines. I got one loaded up here, and some Black Dog Machine magazines as well that are supposed to work in this. I have never used one of these 22 conversions before, so I don't know how they're going to run. So let's see if this thing even fits in here. So it's supposed to be an easy installation. So I believe you just take out the back pin, pop this open, take out the bolt and bolt carrier, and I believe this is just a drop-in installation. And it looks like it is. Let's see if it cycles. Seems to have a little bit of a hang up there with the charging handle, but I guess it's going to work. So let's try this thing out. Haven't shot this thing yet, and this is the first time it's been installed on this gun. So we're going to start off with the CMMG magazine first. And I do want to say, these magazines are not as nice as the other types of AR dedicated 22 magazines because these do not have the loading assist levers on the side. I kind of wish they did. All right, so that popped in there. And already I have a failure to feed. All right, so let's see here. All right, so we have a double feed there. All right, let's try this again. All right, so maybe I should start with the bolt open here. So let's find out. I guess not, because it won't hold open. All right. Okay, got another failure to feed here. Does the forward assist work? No. All right. Okay, so that one chambered. Okay, so we had a little bit of issue there at the start. Let's find out if this thing works now. All right, let's see what happened there. All right, failure to feed. Okay, that one does not want to go. All right, let's drop that magazine. To be honest with you, this is kind of what I was expecting. Obviously, this is a .223 caliber rifle, and they're trying to put a conversion in it with just some basic parts into .22 long rifle. Just because the projectile is the same diameter doesn't mean you can make all of the mechanics of the gun change over with just some simple parts. It ran there for a minute, and there we go. We got another failure to feed. Let's see here. And it looks like I have a round, live round stuck in the chamber. That just came out. All right, let's keep trying this magazine. Maybe it gets better as we go through it. Another failure to feed. All right. So we're not having any luck here on these. Let me try the Black Dog Machine mags and see if it's a magazine problem. All right, that one seems to fit in there a little bit more snug and better. All right, that one worked really well. Let's shoot this one. All right, so that magazine seemed to work a heck of a lot better. And this is the Black Dog Machine magazines. Yes, X-Form. So that seems to run better than the actual brand CMMG magazines that come with a conversion kit. So I'll load up a few more magazines here, both a CMMG magazine, a different one, and a different Black Dog mag, and see how they run. All right, so I got some more magazines loaded up, and before I shoot them, I wanted to show the target and the accuracy here. of this conversion kit, or what I've done so far. So I wasn't really going for accuracy, but there's my grouping, and that was at 15 yards. As I said, I was more worried about function than I was accuracy, but it seems to group pretty well, so I'm not going to complain there. I'm not going to change the target out and put it back out at 15 yards, and we're going to try these magazines, because that's, to me, is the bigger issue here, is will this thing run reliably? So I'm going to start off with the Black Dog Machine magazine first. I gotta say, those fit in there a lot better. Now, these are two different magazines than I shot in the opening of this video. And that one loaded. All right, and now let's try the CMMG magazines. That one wobbles a little bit, but that one took. All right, so those two magazines seem to have much more reliability. Maybe this thing just has to be broken in a little bit. It is kind of fun. I like the idea of not having to buy a whole different rifle to shoot .22 long rifle out of an AR-15. I'm going to load up the last two magazines that I have, let my wife shoot it, and see what she thinks. Alright, so we had a few failures to feed, a few failures to eject. It was kind of spotty. I did notice that some magazines work really well and some do not. So I had one that just does not want to run. It has to do something with the way that the round feeds out of the magazine, and a couple of them, they fed perfectly. I did notice that if the magazine is more full, it has more problems. The ammunition that I'm using today is Remington Golden Bullet. I like these because they are plated. It's not pure lead. So I know it's going to help the gun run a little bit cleaner, which is always one of my concerns when it comes to a conversion kit for an AR-15. And that .22 is very, very dirty. It can leave lead deposits, and you don't want that getting into the gas system. Now, I do know if you started shooting .223 out of this, it's probably going to blow most of that lead right out, but you want to avoid getting as much lead in the system as possible. It's the same thing when you run suppressors. So overall, I think it's more of a magazine issue. It has some spotty performance, but the concept is solid, and it really is fun. I think my wife also enjoyed shooting it, and I know right now in the great ammo scarcity of 2021, this might be an option that some people are looking at so they can shoot their ARs, still have fun with them, and not break the bank. Well, let's get back to the garage. I'm going to clean this thing up and give you guys my final thoughts. All right, so I've had some time here in the garage, take the gun apart, clean it, and also take a look at the conversion kit itself and how it performed and the wear and the carbon buildup on it, because that's something that would concern me shooting .22 through a 5.56 rifle. Well, let me first of all give you a close-up of the conversion kit itself. Here we go. So you have this front portion which looks like the casing of a 5.56, and that's how it feeds into the chamber. And because of this extension, you actually don't get a lot of carbon buildup or lead buildup in the chamber. So this kind of bypasses that. So everything really does seem to go only through the barrel. The back portion of this rests against the buffer in the back, but it does not move the buffer because that spring is so stout and this little .22 is not going to be able to move it. The bolt itself actually rides on the rails of the kit. It's really ingenious. I'm very impressed with how it's designed. It seems to be well built, and it seems to be made of quality materials. The downside for me, though, was the reliability. Now, I do think it has more to do with the magazines than anything. As I mentioned, at the range, I had 2 magazines on hand. I had the CMMG ones, which came with the kit, and there was also some aftermarket ones from Black Dog Machine. These seem to run better than the actual CMMG ones. The magazines were a little bit difficult to load because, as I mentioned, you do not have a loading assist. And I should have brought this to the range. Craig let me borrow it. This is a CMMG 22 mag loader. But I noticed something about this. When it comes to the CMMG magazines, this thing works really well. And I should have taken this because you really can't get all of the rounds in here without some type of assistance. But if you try to use this on the Black Dog Machine, it does not fit. It does not go over. And that might be why this fits in the gun a little bit tighter. It has less wobble. And so I think it has a more reliable feed than the CMMG magazines. So I think this is going to be the weak point of the design. So if you find magazines that work, use them. When it came to the actual device itself, I did have a few times where I got cases in the chamber but refused to extract, and I had to simply fire those and they then would extract, I guess, using the pressure of the cartridge. But if you had a spent casing, I would have had to get some type of rod and push it through because this extractor was not strong enough to always pull them out. But it's still a pretty neat device. It does go in the gun, just like they say, with no needing of tools. It goes in really quick. All you have to do is open up the action. You simply pull the bolt and the bolt carrier of your standard AR-15 out, and this will slide right into the action of the gun, and you are ready to go. So that is a huge upside. I still think, though, that when it comes to shooting 22 out of an AR-15, you are still better off buying a dedicated 22 AR-15, such as the Smith & Wesson M&P 1522 or the HK416. And I think Colt also came out with an M16. I think it was made by Walther or Umarex 22 version of the M16. I think those would be the better way to go. But if you're on a budget or don't want to go that route, I think this is fine, but understand you probably will have reliability issues. So how did the gun function after I took this back out and ran 5.56 through it? It ran great. In fact, that's one thing that I would recommend that everybody do. One of the issues you're always going to have with 22 long rifle is that because it is pretty much always a lead bullet, they leave a lot of lead buildup in the bore. And a gun like this that has a gas system, I'm always concerned about getting the buildup in the gas tube. So after you shoot 22, I would definitely recommend shooting some 5.56 or 2.23 through this to kind of burn that out and push that all out of the gas system so you don't end up having lead buildup. Internally in the upper, it was pretty darn clean. You don't have a lot of blowback, and it really seems to stay mainly in the conversion kit. I was actually going to look for the conversion kit here, but I forgot I'd already put it in the gun. But I don't have any buildup anywhere else in the upper. So I would just scrub the barrel pretty good and make sure that I put some scrubber through the gas system as well. But with a dedicated 22 long rifle AR-15, you would not have that issue. So what do I think of it overall on my little star system? Well, I gotta say, this little CMMG conversion kit for an AR-15, I would give it 2.75 stars out of 5. And it's only because of the reliability. You spend too much time trying to get the magazines to feed properly. Sometimes you're gonna have casings that get stuck. And it's more than you would typically expect from a firearm chambered in 22. You're always going to have fidgety 22s. That's just the nature of the cartridge. This one just seemed to be a little bit more particular than others. Is that bad if you're just out there having some fun? Not really. You're not going to use this as a home defense tool. You're just going to go out to the range and have some fun with it. So if you're fine having to fidget with it and the hassle of that, it's fun, and I think you get a lot for your money. but I can only give it 2.75 stars because of the reliability issues, because I've shot other guns like the HK416-22 and it's much more reliable. Plus the magazines load a lot easier without the needing of an assist. So that's it. So what do you guys think? Do you guys own one of these CMMG conversion kits? Do you like it? Does it run better than this one does? As I said, I had a lot of fun. My wife really enjoyed it, and we really enjoy shooting 22 right now in the great ammo scarcity of 2021. So it was fun. Would I pick one up for the right price? I think so. I definitely think I would, but I know I would go with the Black Dog machine mags more than I would the CMMG mags. But honestly, I think I like my HK416-22 a little bit better. But this might be just the product for you, and if it is, I would say try one out. Take a look at it. It's not bad. It does what it says it's going to do. It's well built, functions okay. That's my only real gripe. But I had to spend too much time dealing with that at the range. So there you go. So let me know. Do you guys have the CMMG conversion kit? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.